Hey girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. One of the most popular and iconic movies is Mean Girls. If you haven't watched it or heard about it, it's a movie about girls being mean to each other. For some reason, the concept of women being mean to each other is a very popular narrative. Viewers get a kick watching women being mean to each other, which is why we see this concept in so many things. In Saas Bahu serials, daughter in laws and mother in laws fight with each other like cats. And people love watching this. We also see it in high school dramas where a popular mean girl will hate on the nerdy girl. Reels like this also go viral, which is why so many women love to post it. The saying, औरत ही औरत की सबसे बड़ी दुश्मन होती है, is something people have been saying for ages. In a more modern format, we see it in the concept of a girl's girl. The concept of a girl's girl suggests that all girls are terrible to each other. And a girl's girl is an exception. A girl's girl is someone who supports other women. It's almost as if the society wants us to believe that us women are our worst enemies. I'm here to break this notion. Women being women's worst enemies? That's a deflection. It is to distract us from how much men hate women. Men are the real enemies of women, not women. Women do not rape other women. Men rape women. Women do not murder other women because of their gender. Men rape women because they're women. If a woman is upset with another woman, she doesn't throw acid on her face. When men are upset with another woman, they throw acid on their faces. All the gender related violence that happens against women is done by men. Of course, not all men are violent against women, but all men, including feminist men, benefit from female oppression. For example, if all women are oppressed, if the society forces women to get married instead of having a job, men get to have less competition in their jobs. All men. That's how all men benefit from female oppression. This is just one example. There are lots in real life. You know how I know men are the real enemies? In a room full of women, women will not feel unsafe. Because women do not do gender related violence against women or against men. Women are not out here being violent because of gender. Women are conditioned to not be violent, which is why most of the violence that is done in the world is by men. In a room full of men, a woman will feel unsafe. It doesn't matter if the men in the room are upper class, upper caste, if they're feminist, if they're misogynist. A woman will still feel unsafe. And that tells you that women are not women's worst enemies. Men are women's worst enemies. And I'm not the only one who believes this is not a revolutionary thought, because the society is already aware about this. They know that men are the only real danger to women. That's why we have a female only section in the metro. That's why women are put into curtained booths when they're getting security checks done. That's why women are encouraged to not take up male dominated jobs. Why women are discouraged from going into spaces where there are more men. Because men are dangerous to women. The society is very clearly aware of this. It only tries to distract us from this because they don't want to admit it. Because admitting it means that they have to do something about it. And they don't want to do that. The misogynists want women to remain divided. If women start uniting, the patriarchy will be threatened. If all the women get together and decide one day that they do not want to do any household chores, the men will have to succumb. But that doesn't happen because us women are taught to hate one another. It's the same as what the British did to us Indians. They divided us to rule us. And it works really well because you don't see it. I've also noticed this on the internet. You see women mocking mother in laws, women mocking other women for the way they talk. I don't know if you remember, but there was this whole trend of hating on South Delhi women. The jokes are somehow almost always on women as a gender. Poor women, rich women, female teachers. Patriarchy silently makes us hate all women. I have this theory that if you remove the descriptive part of jokes from most of the internet, like South Delhi girls, or West Delhi bahus, or newly married wife, or pick me women, there is a common denominator, which is women. We're all just making fun of women from all walks of life. Being rich does not protect you, being of a higher caste does not protect you. If you're a woman, you are subjugated. These days, it's also a trend for feminist women to be against pick me women. I'm not a pick me is the new I'm not like other girls. But you're still being like that. You're still saying I'm not like these other girls. You'll often notice that there's always a new random clip that becomes viral where a female celebrity goes like, I'm not a feminist. I don't believe in feminism. And the comment section will be full of women hating on this woman. going like, how can you say that? As a woman, how can you not be a feminist? The reality is that the people, mostly men, who are posting these videos know that they're going to get views. That's why they're posting it, because the concept of woman hating is very popular. They benefit from dividing us. They may not do this on purpose, but that doesn't make it right. They're doing it because they've learned that in their families, in their social circles, that hating on women always gets the most laughs, the most outrage. This feminist versus pick me thing is just a way to divide us. In fact, I can assure you that this video will not really get that many views. Because I am preaching that we should be empathetic towards other women. And that's not a popular thought. But you know what? If I was calling out all the pick me women in this video, it would be going viral right now. I have experienced this, so I know. I have noticed it in my own content. Every time I preach that we are more empathetic towards women, we're supportive towards women, it doesn't get that many views. But it gets so many views when I'm hating on another woman, which is why I have kind of stopped doing that as much as I can. This feminist versus pick me thing is just a way to divide us. The truth is that feminist or pick me, no woman is winning in patriarchy. Because a pick me will never get picked by men. If a misogynist man marries a pick me, he's going to mistreat her, not give her freedom. If the misogynist marries a feminist woman, she will also be mistreated by him. And this is just a small representation of what happens in the society. As a feminist woman, I still have to see what I'm wearing in public transport and try to go in the women's section to feel safe. It doesn't matter if I'm feminist or pick me. We both are the same in the society. A misogynist sees pick me's and feminists as women. Misogynists do not care about what our ideology is as a woman. For them, we're just women and they hate women. Pick me's are not picked or loved by men. They are also equally hated, just like feminists. I have really radically changed the way I see pick me women. I don't even call them pick me anymore. I'm just calling them that for the sake of this video so you understand the type of women I'm talking about. I feel like pick me is a very blaming term. It's like blaming women for what men did to them, for their reaction to the patriarchy, as always. We're almost blaming those women because they're oppressed. We're like, how can you be oppressed? You should be fighting back. Somehow, we always end up blaming women, but conveniently never blame the men. We conveniently ignore the things that men have done to them which made them pick me's. We completely ignore the oppression that they're going through which makes them that way. Women become pick me's because they've been conditioned to be that way. They get so much backlash if they speak up. So they decide to protect themselves by being quiet, by not fighting back. They're not pick me's, they're not brainwashed. They're just less privileged than us feminists. You have to be somewhat privileged to be a feminist. And when I say privileged, I do not mean caste, class, money. I only mean that you need to have at least one person in your life who supports your independence and freedom. That's the privilege of support. And unfortunately, most women do not get to have that. Now, the woman that we label as pick me's, what do you expect her to do? A woman has to follow patriarchal norms to exist in the society. I myself follow patriarchal norms. And I have no option because the other option is to be in great discomfort. I shave my legs. I am aware this is a patriarchal norm. But the alternative is to get mean comments from people in real life about how my legs are hairy. That used to happen to me in school. When I didn't get waxed, people would make fun of me and say that I look like a bear. People make horrible comments when they see a woman in her natural state. To avoid that, I follow certain patriarchal norms, even though I am aware that these things are patriarchal and it makes me super uncomfortable to follow it. I have my father's surname. That's patriarchal too. Ideally, I would like to have my own surname, not related to any man. But to do that, I'll have to get it changed on my degrees, on my house papers, on my birth certificate, on everything, on newspaper articles written about me, on all my achievements. And I don't want to do that. Nor can I do that. I mean, they're not going to change my name in the newspaper after they've written the article. So I'm stuck with the patriarchal norm of having my father's surname. This probably makes me a pick me, right? Something we need to understand is that women are not pick me's because they want to cause harm to other women. Misogynistic men want to cause harm to other women. They want to subjugate women. Women, on the other hand, who have misogyny in them, are that way because they're taught that a free woman is a bad one, an independent woman is a bad woman. So they hate free and independent women. The oppressed mother will tell her daughter to be careful and not wear short skirts. The teachers will tell their female students that their lip balm is causing men to give them attention, and that's a bad thing. These women hate free and independent women because they themselves can't be free. A person can only go against their family and social norms to a certain extent. And in this whole conversation about brainwashed pick me women versus feminist women, we all completely ignore the misogynist husbands and fathers. If these women did not have misogynist families, they wouldn't be patriarchal. They wouldn't hate independent women because they would get to have that independence as an option. However, a misogynist man would still be a misogynist man. He would just find another woman to subjugate. An oppressed or pick me woman's level of feminism may not be the same as mine, but in their family, they will probably be the most feminist. Just think about it. If you look at pick me girls, they are more feminist than their mothers. And this is always the case. It's very, very rare to see a pick me woman coming from a super feminist background. First of all, there are barely any feminist families. You have to compare pick me women to their mothers. You have to compare oppressed women with women from their own families. You can't be comparing oppressed women with other women from different social backgrounds. That's unfair. I refuse to hate on other women. Also, people keep sending me videos of other women not being feminist, being patriarchal. But I refuse to hate on other women now. Even if they're the most patriarchal, most vile women. Even if they're hating on me. I have just decided to stop hating on other women. They get enough hate. I don't agree with everything that all women say, obviously, but I refuse to hate on them. I want to see them with empathy. And if I can't do that, I'll just stay quiet. I will not fight against them. And instead, I'll fight against the men who made them that way. We have to realize that when we hate on women who are patriarchal, we're just creating a bigger divide among us. If we want women to be more feminist, we need to support them. We need to show them that we're on the same side. Hating on oppressed women just pushes them further. Because why would they be feminist if feminists are hating on them? This is why I no longer engage with, like, or share any content which seems to be hating on women. Content where people are making fun of patriarchal women. Because patriarchal women are not the problem. They're the consequence to the problem. And the problem is misogynist men. There is barely any content on the internet hating on these misogynist men. Recently, some video of some patriarchal guy went viral. He was hating on women in that video. I have never made any content on him, nor do I know him as a person, but for some reason, he or some followers of his, they sent bots to my account, and I got hundreds of comments hating on me with the same comment, so I know that it's bots, and they were using that guy's name. I went to his page to see what was going on, and he had made this huge woman hating video in a comedy kind of way, and men were just paying him money in the comments. I don't know how much money he would have received in support for creating woman hating content. I'm not asking you for money, but I'm trying to tell you and show you how being patriarchal in the society gives you so much more benefit than not being patriarchal. If I started making patriarchal content, hating on women, or even just hating on patriarchal women, I would get so many more views. But I can't get myself to do that now because I see all women as the same. A housewife who is actually working but not getting paid for the work that she does, and a woman with a job who is getting paid for the work that she does, they're both struggling because of patriarchy. One is not better or easier than the other. One of them just got better opportunities. And I'm sure you have examples of girls in your social circle who did study but ended up being housewives. These women also did not get the opportunity to work. By opportunity, I mean their parents encouraging them to go get a really good job. Their parents not telling them to get married again and again. These days, parents will educate their daughter, but they will still not let her work. They will not encourage her to get a job. They will, however, encourage her to get married. That means that girl is not privileged. She did not get the social support she needs to be financially independent. How many parents encourage their daughters to not get married, to get a job instead? Who support their career instead of telling them to get married? And why do we call them pick me's just because they're doing what their parents encourage them to do? I'm not saying that we have to agree with all women who mistreat you, nor am I saying that women don't mistreat other women. All I'm saying is that we as a society need to open our eyes and see who the real criminal is in this situation. And that's men. As women, when we are making decisions on how to treat other women, we need to ask ourselves, who is benefiting from this? Who benefits when a daughter in law and mother in law fight? Who benefits when feminists and pick me's fight? Who benefits when women are divided? It's men because they get to subjugate us in more ways, silently. They benefit loudly, but their subjugation tactics, they're quiet. The daughter in law and mother in law both serve the father in law in the end. But you'll never see anyone questioning him. Never see any articles on the internet about the father in law who is the real patriarch in the family, the one who makes all the decisions. But you'll see people talking about how mother in laws are mistreating their daughter in laws. And that's how you know patriarchy works silently, effectively, using the divide and rule policy.